It's a cruel irony, isn't it? You wake up determined to seize the day, to conquer your to-do list, to optimize every single moment. You've heard about the power of a morning routine, perhaps read Jim Rohn, or maybe even delved into Dale Carnegie's timeless wisdom. You tell yourself, this is it. This is how I'll finally get ahead, how I'll finally feel truly in control. But then, the paradox hits you. The more you chase external validation, the more you try to force productivity from the outside in, the less internally complete, the less genuinely powerful you actually feel. Today, we're going to dismantle that illusion. We'll show you how to truly unlock not just surface-level productivity, but profound inner peace and unwavering self-worth, starting the very moment your eyes open. You will understand a mechanism that has held you captive, and you will learn how to reclaim your mornings, and by extension, your entire life. For decades, the Dale Carnegie life lessons have illuminated the paths to human potential, not through brute force or fleeting trends, but through a deep, almost surgical understanding of our hidden psychological currents. Sigmund Freud, that cartographer of the mind's shadowed depths, understood a profound truth. Much of what drives us, much of what makes us feel incomplete isn't about what we lack, but what we neglect within. It's about mastering that internal landscape before you even think about conquering the external world. If that resonates, if you're tired of running on a hamster wheel, take a moment now. Like this video, subscribe to Dale Carnegie Life Lessons, and hit that notification bell. It's a simple act of reciprocity that ensures you keep receiving insights that truly turn the key, not just offer another temporary fix. Because what we're about to uncover are the subtle signals you've been missing, the common errors that keep you stuck, and the powerful turning point that changes everything. We'll reveal a final declaration and a simple ritual, a daily practice that will redefine your mornings and, by extension, your entire life. But that ritual, that potent key, only reveals itself at the very end. This isn't just about being busy or getting things done. It's deeper. It's about what we call the echo chamber of validation, that relentless cycle where you pour your energy into external sources, hoping for a return that never truly satisfies because it's not rooted in your own soil. Imagine trying to cultivate a vibrant garden in your backyard, but instead of nurturing the soil, planting seeds, and watering regularly, you spend all your energy peering over the fence, admiring your neighbor's prize-winning roses, waiting for them to tell you if your lawn looks green enough. How do you know if you're caught in its current? There are signs, clear as day, if you know where to look. One unmistakable signal is the morning scroll trap. You wake up, and before your feet even hit the floor, your hand instinctively reaches for your phone. It's not about checking the weather. It's about checking in with the world, seeing what you missed, what demands await, how your last post performed. You feel this subtle anxiety, a low hum of obligation, before your day has even truly begun. You're already reacting, already defending, already comparing. Your mental energy is siphoned off, not by your goals, but by the digital currents of others. For the next 3 mornings, try this. Leave your phone in another room. Let the first few minutes of your day be solely yours. Just observe the silence, the space it creates. But this isn't the only way the echo chamber of validation traps us. There's a deeper, more insidious signal, one that masquerades as ambition. It's the approval addiction. This is when your sense of accomplishment, your very self-worth, becomes tethered to external praise or validation. Did your boss praise your report, or that ambitious colleague outshine you? Did your partner notice your effort, or did their eyes glaze over? Did that online comment affirm your perspective, or did a troll dismiss it, leaving you reeling? If the answer to the positive isn't a resounding yes, a hollow feeling emerges, like a deflated balloon after a big parade. You find yourself replaying conversations, analyzing reactions, constantly adjusting your behavior to elicit a positive response. It's like you're perpetually auditioning for a role, not living your life. This isn't confidence, it's a deep-seated dependence. You're giving away your power, piece by painful piece, to the fluctuating opinions of others, much like those old-school Hollywood hopefuls who waited by the phone, desperate for a callback, their entire identity hinging on a single ring. It's the constant pursuit of the attaboy or attagirl that never quite fills the void. Today, consciously identify one small action you take purely for your own satisfaction, without any expectation of external recognition. Maybe it's organizing your desk just for the quiet satisfaction, or simply enjoying a perfectly brewed cup of coffee on your porch swing, watching the world wake up. Savor that internal win, that small act of self-reliance. These are just two facets of a much larger, often invisible struggle. The subtle whispers of the echo chamber of validation. There's a crucial detail that almost no one recognizes, a fundamental error in how we approach our daily lives that perpetuates this cycle. It's the very foundation of how we build our morning, and it's likely holding you back more than you realize. I'll show you exactly what it is and how to spot it in yourself next. That fundamental error, the one almost no one recognizes, isn't just about reacting to external demands. It's far more insidious. It's about how we proactively surrender our mornings and our inner peace before the day even truly begins. It's what we call the proactive, people-pleasing paradigm. This isn't just seeking approval. It's designing your very first hours, sometimes your entire schedule, around anticipating and meeting others' perceived needs or expectations, rather than your own genuine ones. You might find yourself mentally rehearsing conversations with your boss, strategizing how to impress a client, or planning your child's entire day, all before you've even had a moment to check in with yourself. It's that low-level hum of anxiety, a constant internal checklist of what do they need from me today, or how can I avoid their disappointment? It's the feeling that your personal to-do list is being dictated by invisible external judges, often before they've even had a chance to speak. Think of it like a meticulous host in a bustling American household, constantly fussing over guests, ensuring every comfort while their own coffee grows cold and their own quiet thoughts are left unexamined. You're orchestrating a perfect performance for others, but neglecting the conductor within. For the next 3 mornings, before you even look at your phone, before you engage with a single soul, ask yourself one simple question. What is one thing I genuinely want or need to do for myself in the next hour? It could be 5 minutes of quiet contemplation, a specific stretch, or simply savoring your breakfast without distraction. Then, commit to doing just that one thing. Witness the subtle shift in your internal landscape. This isn't selfishness, it's self-stewardship. But the reach of the echo chamber of validation extends even further, often disguised as ambition or the pursuit of excellence. It manifests as the metrics mirage. In a culture that celebrates the grind, the hustle, and the quantifiable win, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring your worth by external numbers. You find yourself tracking followers, likes, steps, calories burned, hours worked, or financial gains. These aren't inherently bad, but the danger arises when your sense of accomplishment, your very self-esteem, becomes tethered to these fluctuating digits. You scroll through social media, seeing curated images of success, the perfect morning smoothie, the impossibly organized desk, the record-breaking workout, and feel a pang of inadequacy if your own numbers don't measure up. Your morning routine becomes less about internal growth and more about hitting a target, optimizing for the sake of the metric itself rather than for the genuine benefit it might bring. It's like a Silicon Valley startup chasing venture capital valuations rather than genuine user satisfaction. The numbers become the goal, not the outcome. For the next 24 hours, consciously choose to ignore one metric you usually track. Don't check your phone's screen time report. Don't count your steps. Don't look at your bank balance or your social media analytics. Just do what you intend to do, without the constant, often paralyzing, need to measure and compare. Observe the subtle sense of freedom, or perhaps the unexpected anxiety that arises when you momentarily detach from that external scoreboard. These signals, the morning scroll, the approval addiction, proactive people-pleasing, and the metrics mirage, are all symptoms of the same core mechanism, the echo chamber of validation. They keep you perpetually looking outward, chasing a sense of completeness that can only ever be found within. There's a powerful shift awaiting you, a moment of reframing that will change how you approach every single morning. It's about turning the camera inward, and it's surprisingly simple. If any of this has sparked a flicker of recognition, if you're starting to see how these invisible currents have shaped your days, I want you to do something for yourself right now. In the comments below, type the word clarity. Just one word. It's a small, personal act of acknowledgement, and I promise you, I read every single one. It's a way to solidify this initial turning point. Remember the true anchor phrase and the life-changing ritual that brings all of this together, that truly reclaims your morning, is still waiting for you at the very end of this journey. The common strategies we're fed, the ones promising a supercharged morning and an optimized life, often miss the mark entirely. You've been told to wake up earlier, to meditate, to journal, to exercise. All noble pursuits, yes, but here's the brutal truth. For many in America, especially in our hyper-connected, performance-driven culture, these very routines become another arena for the echo chamber of validation. They become just another set of metrics to hit, another box to tick, another thing to do to prove your worth, either to yourself or, more often, to an invisible audience. You're not doing them for genuine inner peace. You're doing them to avoid feeling like you're falling behind, to maintain an image of success, or to earn that fleeting hit of external approval. This is why the strategy of just doing it ultimately fails. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much water you pour in, it never quite gets full. The hole is the echo chamber of validation, constantly siphoning off your internal resources, redirecting your energy outward. The problem isn't the routine itself, it's the intention behind it. If your morning practice is just another performance, another item on your social media highlight reel, or another way to silence the inner critic that's worried about what others think, then you're still trapped. You're still building your sense of self on a foundation of sand, always shifting with the tides of external opinion, instead of rooting yourself in solid ground. Imagine Sarah, a marketing professional in her late 20s, living in Austin, Texas. She had the perfect morning routine, or so she thought. Up at 5 a.m., cold shower, green smoothie, 30 minutes of high-intensity cardio, followed by journaling about her goals. Her Instagram feed was filled with aesthetically pleasing shots of her sunrise runs and perfectly portioned breakfasts. On the surface, she was crushing it. But inside, she was exhausted. Every morning felt like a race against herself, not to mention her peers she followed online, all seemingly doing more, achieving more. She felt a constant pressure to perform, even in her solitude. Her me time became a frantic scramble to meet an ideal, rather than a space for genuine connection with herself. The turning point came not from adding more to her routine, but from stripping it away. One morning, overwhelmed, she just sat by her window, watching the city slowly wake up. No phone, no journal, no workout, just observation. The initial anxiety was almost unbearable. the urge to do something, to be productive, to prove she was worthy. But she resisted. And in that quiet space, she realized her morning wasn't hers. It was a carefully constructed facade designed to impress. The moment she stopped performing for the echo chamber of validation, she began to hear her own voice, faint at first, but undeniably there. This isn't about abandoning your routines. It's about recalibrating your compass. When that familiar pull to check your phone, or to mentally rehearse a conversation, or to compare yourself to an external ideal arises in the morning, pause, just for a moment. Instead of acting on the impulse, simply acknowledge it. Internally whisper to yourself, "Ah, there it is, the echo chamber calling." Just naming it without judgment creates a tiny sliver of space. It's a micro tool, a tiny wedge that separates you from the automatic reaction, allowing you to observe rather than simply comply. This simple act of naming, of recognizing the pattern of the echo chamber of validation, is your first step towards reclaiming your mornings and indeed your entire life. It's a powerful shift, but it's just a glimpse of what's possible. The true anchor phrase, the one that will solidify this reframe, and the practical, life-changing ritual that ties it all together are still to come. They are the keys to truly cultivating an inner garden that thrives, regardless of what your neighbor's roses look like. What if your entire perception of success, of worth, has been built on sand, and the true foundation was waiting, quietly, within you all along? What if your entire perception of success, of worth, has been built on sand, and the true foundation was waiting, quietly, within you all along? The relentless pursuit of external validation, whether it's through social media likes, professional accolades, or even the approval of loved ones, is a uniquely American trap. We're taught from a young age to strive, to achieve, to be the best, to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. But this often translates into a constant, exhausting competition, not just with others, but with an idealized version of ourselves that exists only in the eyes of the world. The echo chamber of validation thrives on this cultural narrative, whispering that your value is proportional to your visible accomplishments, your curated image, or the applause you receive. This isn't just about feeling a little down when things don't go your way. It's about a deeper, more insidious erosion of your intrinsic sense of self. When your morning begins with a scan for external cues, the news, social media, emails, you are quite literally giving away your power. You're letting the world dictate your emotional state, your priorities, and even your sense of purpose, before you've even had a chance to define them for yourself. You become a leaf blown by the wind, rather than a tree rooted firmly in its own ground. This is why so many feel a pervasive emptiness, even amidst what looks like outward success. The wellspring of their internal motivation has dried up, replaced by a constant thirst for external affirmation that can never truly quench. But here's how recognizing the echo chamber of validation changes everything. It transforms an invisible, oppressive force into a discernible pattern. Once you can name it, you can disarm it. It's like turning on the lights in a dark room. The monsters don't disappear, but you realize they were just shadows all along. The game changes from trying harder to get validation to consciously choosing to cultivate it from within. It's about understanding that your worth is not a commodity to be earned or negotiated, but an inherent truth that simply is. This shift isn't about becoming indifferent to others or isolating yourself. It's about building an inner fortress, not of stone, but of self-awareness and self-respect. It's about establishing a sacred pause in your morning that is utterly immune to the demands of the outside world. This isn't just meditation or journaling, though those can be part of it. It's a deliberate act of creating a small, inviolable sanctuary where your only agenda is you. Here's your next micro tool. a powerful way to begin carving out this inner sanctuary. We'll call it the first 5 minutes of sovereign silence. For the next 3 mornings, before you do anything else, before you check your phone, before you speak to anyone, before you even get out of bed if you choose, dedicate 5 full minutes to absolute silence. Don't plan, don't worry, don't even think about your day. Just be. Notice your breath, the feeling of the sheets, the sounds of your home waking up, or the quiet hum of the refrigerator. If your mind races, gently bring it back to the present moment, to your breath. This isn't about achieving a perfect meditative state. It's about claiming those first 5 minutes as yours, a declaration of internal sovereignty against the clamor of the echo chamber of validation. It's a small, daily rebellion that reestablishes who is truly in charge of your inner world. This simple practice, consistently applied, begins to rewire your brain, slowly but surely, detaching your sense of well-being from the unpredictable currents of external opinion. It's a profound act of self-care, a silent promise to yourself that you are worthy of your own undivided attention. And as you embrace this shift, you'll find that the external world still exists, but its power over your internal peace diminishes dramatically. This is the true reframe, the turning point, where you stop chasing shadows and start cultivating your own light. But remember, this is just a powerful preview, the ultimate anchor phrase that solidifies this transformation, and the complete actionable ritual that will guide you through this journey for 21 days are still waiting. They are the final pieces, the true keys to unlocking a morning and a life of genuine, unshakable self-worth. Are you ready to stop performing and start living truly, authentically, on your own terms? Are you ready to stop performing and start living truly, authentically, on your own terms? The answer, the genuine, unshakable truth that frees you from the echo chamber of validation, isn't found in another productivity hack or a more rigorous schedule. It's found in a profound internal realignment. It's the realization that your value is not a performance. It is your foundation. It's not something you chase. It's something you cultivate, relentlessly and lovingly, from within. This is why we offer you not just a concept, but an anchor, a truth to hold on to when the external world tries to pull you back into its currents. This is your anchor phrase to be carried in your heart and mind. My morning is my sovereign ground. Say it to yourself. Feel its weight. It's a declaration that the first moments of your day are sacred, inviolable, and utterly yours. This isn't about being selfish. It's about being whole. It's about building an inner wellspring so deep that no amount of external thirst can deplete it. To help you establish this truth, to make it a living, breathing part of your existence, we offer you the Inner Garden Ritual. This isn't just another routine. It's a deliberate act of self-stewardship, designed to rewire your relationship with yourself and the world. Commit to these 5 simple steps for the next 21 days and watch your inner landscape transform. First, the unplugged awakening. Place your phone in another room overnight. Wake up without immediately reaching for it. Let your first conscious moments be free from the demands and comparisons of the external world. Second, sovereign silence. For the first 5 minutes after waking, just be. Sit, lie, or stand. Observe your breath, the sounds around you, the feeling of the bed beneath you, without judgment or agenda. Reclaim this time as utterly yours. Third, the self-nourishment nudge. Before engaging with anyone, before even thinking about your to-do list, identify one small, personal act of self-care or genuine desire for the next hour. It could be a specific stretch, a mindful sip of coffee, or simply watching the sunrise from your window. Do it purely for you, with no expectation of external recognition. Fourth, metric detachment. For these 21 days, choose one external metric you usually track, whether it's social media likes, steps on your fitness tracker, news headlines, or email count, and consciously ignore it for the first hour of your day. Experience the profound freedom of unmeasured existence. And finally, the root affirmation. Write down one simple sentence that affirms your inherent worth, not what you do, but what you are. Something like, I am complete, my peace is my power, or I am enough. Keep it concise, personal, and powerful. This is your seed, planted daily. This simple, consistent practice, like tending a garden, will slowly but surely detach your sense of well-being from the unpredictable currents of external opinion. It's a profound act of self-care, a silent promise to yourself that you are worthy of your own undivided attention. We encourage you to share your journey, to acknowledge this turning point. In the comments below, type, I am tending my inner garden. This simple public declaration is a powerful act of commitment to yourself, a way to solidify your reframe. It acknowledges that the real work isn't chasing, but choosing to invest in your own emotional ecosystem. If this message has resonated, if it has truly turned a key within you, then please like this video, comment with your declaration, subscribe to Dale Carnegie Life Lessons, and activate that notification bell so you don't miss future insights that empower you. And if you know just one person who needs to hear this truth, share this video with them. This journey of self-discovery, guided by the timeless insights, is just beginning. In our next video, which will appear on your screen now, we'll dive deeper into understanding the subtle signs of narcissism in relationships, both in others and in ourselves, exploring how the pursuit of an ego ideal can become a destructive force, and how to protect your emotional boundaries without building walls. And following that, we'll explore the transformative power of sublimation, how to redirect that intense psychic energy previously wasted on chasing elusive connections into fulfilling passions and purpose, turning old wounds into new strengths. The goal isn't just to detach, it's to reattach more powerfully to your authentic self. So, are you ready to stop chasing shadows and truly cultivate the life you deserve?